Well, I think this is a good thrift store find for a whopping, let's see if I can get that focused, $3. I get something to tear apart, and this is old. I get a remote control, I get some cables, and I get a power supply. So not bad for $3. Hey, and I even get instructions on how to install the batteries. Now, I don't know, but I think I'm going to leave these batteries sealed up and not install them in this. Oh, this obviously was a Shaw product at one point. The thrift store was willing to take pretty well anything. I did find on one piece of literature here, and I have blanked it out, the person who donated it, and the fact that they must have got this back in 2010. I suspect what happened was they got upgraded because this manual here is not for this one here. Apparently this was the replacement for these. So I'll be tearing that apart and keeping the rest for parts. Oh, and I got this nice cable here. So just give me a second. One thing I hope is that the person who donated this didn't get fouled by the company, because sometimes what happens is they'll go, hey, you don't need to actually ship it back to us, you just dispose of it. And then what happens is a month later it shows up on your bill that you didn't return it, and if you've already disposed of it and you have no proof from the phone call, and hence you're out $100 or whatever they charge. So let's just see what this has. Oh, an M card. Okay. Haven't got a clue about it, but it's made in Taiwan. I'll have to look that up. Let's see what else. Okay, I got a screw here. It looks like there's a screw there, and there's a screw there, and I don't have that type. Give me quite a few moments to figure out how I'm going to get that out. So I did take a quick look on the internet. It's used for multi-streaming something by Shaw. And for these screws, oh, I might as well show the back of this first. For these screws I have nothing, which means it's time to get out the drill. And I will be doing this off camera. So after a tiny bit of persuading, the screws actually came out, or the plastic broke away around them. There doesn't appear to be any underneath here, so it's probably just clamped together now, and I'll go after that after I clean up this mess. Okay, now let's try with the heavy duty spludger. Okay, yeah, might have some slack there. Not sure how this is going to come apart. And there definitely isn't anything underneath that. Oops. Fingers, good. There we go. One more down here. Ha! Yeah, no, you could have come apart easier if they'd used regular screws, but I guess that's the point. So, let's see. I'm just going to take a look at this. This looks simple, actually. There's a clamp. Well, there was a clamp there. There was a clamp there, too. How about these ones? There we go. Comes apart. But I'm going to want to take a look at this first. Because, okay, there's the front. Okay. What I'm looking at is that even though I've drilled out these, if I use a washer on this side and a longer screw to get into there, I now have a very nice little project box. And I can, I've got a fair amount of scrap metal now, so I can actually make my own back plates for these. So let's just take a look at this now. Well, we got some 7-segment displays here. We've got a very interesting heat sink here. I'm gonna move the camera down. Okay, let's pop this thing out. See what's hiding underneath it. That should just come straight down. Or not. I think this might just be easier to take it out like this. There we go. Oh, that's a very nice heat sink. Looks like it's got EM shielding around there. Not a lot of goop in there, but there was some. I guess really it is on the other side there. So I'm getting a heat sink out of it. Okay, we have, whoops, SKHYNIX. I'll be looking up these parts. There's another one there. There's a Texas Instrument. TSB43DA 42A, whatever. And right below the Ethernet connection is the H1260NL, which is a transmit and receive chip. Doing a bit of protection there, most likely, and balancing of lines, is my guess. There's the infrared. And now it's time to open up these shielded areas. And it did not go smoothly. They have tabs going through which are soldered, plus they're also continuously soldered around the edges there. So some brute force was required. I started off with the lighter pieces of equipment, and then I went, yeah, right. I wedged away at it with a screwdriver for a bit, and then I got out the pliers. Oh, there's the screwdriver part. Then I got out the pliers. There we go. There's one off. Totally decimated it. So, let's try the next one. I'd actually hoped to save that. That isn't going to happen. Okay. After way too much effort, finally got the cans off. And of course a whole bunch of surface mount parts that I'd never be able to use. Did break off a few inductors. There's one there with its very tiny windings. That was one of those ones. Look at the size of these inductors here. Then on the other side, big can, very few parts in there. That actually is popped off. And I just noticed, does this actually pull out? Nope. I thought they might have just had it placed in there, but what I will do is I'll desolder this, so I'll get this display out of it also, and I'll take off this infrared. I got quite a few push buttons now. So that's what's inside one of these. A whole bunch of parts that are so small, never be able to use them. That one actually might be worth taking off. But the whole idea on this was that I was looking at this and I was going, for that amount of money, this cable, power supply, remote control I can play with, and most importantly is the project box. So this turned into quite a butcher job, but they really weren't meant to be taken apart and serviced. You'd probably never see a tech touching one of these to fix something that's broken. It would just be toss it out and get a replacement. Oh, and that's what's inside that can there. Little inductor. Lots of inductors and capacitors. All for high frequencies. Okay, that's it. I've got those other parts that I'm going to be able to use. Have a good one.